All right, welcome to another deep dive. You guys know how this works. You send in what you're digging into, and we dive in and pull out the juiciest bits for you.
The good stuff.
Yeah, exactly. The stuff that makes you think. And today's dive is, it's a fascinating one. We're taking a deep look at a single document, actually. It's called Vision 2035, a future forged by human AI collaboration.
Catchy title.
It is, right? And it's by Peter Woodford, dated, get this, April 6th, 2025.
So this is like a message from the future, sort of.
Yeah, kind of. Like a peek into one possible future, at least the way Woodford sees it.
And what's the mission for our dive today? What are we hoping to uncover in this vision?
So we really want to understand the key predictions, right? The big societal shifts that Woodford lays out, especially when it comes to how humans and AI, work together in 2035. What's going to be the most impactful stuff? The stuff that really makes us think, whoa, what if?
I'm ready to be wowed.
Me too.
Yeah.
So right off the bat, the thing that jumps out, at least for me, is this emphasis on collaboration. Human AI collaboration. It's not about, robots taking over some AI apocalypse. It's more about how we can work together, humans and AI, to do some pretty incredible things.
Yeah, that's a really important point. It's not about replacement, it's about augmentation. Using AI to enhance what we can do, not erase us from the picture.
Exactly. And the journey to get to this point, this collaborative utopia, it wasn't exactly a walk in the park. Woodford paints a picture of a period like from the mid-2020s to the early 2030s where things were, kind of chaotic, especially in the job market.
Oh yeah, tons of disruption. This was when AI and automation really started taking off, getting integrated into all sorts of industries.
Like at warp speed. And that meant massive job losses, right? Woodford talks about like waves of layoffs as AI starts taking on more and more tasks, even the complex ones.
It wasn't just, the routine jobs that got automated. It was the analytical, the decision-making roles, too. A lot of white-collar folks got caught in that wave.
Totally. And remember, this was also around the time that people were buzzing about AGI, right? Artificial General Intelligence.
Ah, AGI, the holy grail of AI research. The idea of machines that can think like humans.
And people were predicting like 2025 or 2028 for that, right? Woodford mentions that too.
Yep. That anticipation, that excitement, it was palpable. But the funny thing is, once they got there, once they cracked AGI and connected those systems to the internet, well, things got a little hairy.
What do you mean? Like Skynet taking over?
Not quite that dramatic. But it turns out, even with all that brain power, AGI still struggled with some very human things. Empathy, morality, it couldn't quite grasp those subtle nuances that make us, us.
That's kind of unsettling. Like maybe true intelligence isn't just about processing power, there's more to it.
Absolutely. And realizing that, they quickly hit the brakes, so to speak. Limited AGI's access to the internet, put some serious restrictions in place.
Yeah.
Better safe than sorry, right?
Yeah. Makes sense.
Yeah.
And it just shows how crucial it is to think about ethics, about the human side of things, alongside all this technological advancement. We can't just let things run wild.
Couldn't agree more. And speaking of consequences, those job losses we talked about, they created a massive ripple effect. Initially, folks were looking at UBI, Universal Basic Income, as a possible solution.
Right, like give everyone a set amount of money to cover their basic needs, regardless of whether they have a job or not.
Exactly. It's a sort of safety net for a rapidly changing world.
Woodford suggests that UBI didn't really pan out in the long run.
Yeah, the economy, it's fickle, right? Things change, costs go up and down. And a fixed income, even a decent one, might not be enough to keep up.
So UBI wasn't the answer. What emerged instead?
So this is where the free food movement comes in, which eventually evolves into the human-artificial collaboration movement, or HAACM. They call it HAA for short. Catchy, right?
HAA, got it. So tell me more about this movement.
Well, it's actually an idea that Woodford himself proposed back in 2017. The basic premise is simple. Everyone gets access to free, unprocessed, basic food and clean water. It's like a fundamental right.
So like no matter what happens in the job market, no matter what your economic situation is, you're guaranteed those essential things.
Precisely. It's about security, about ensuring basic survival in a world where work might not look the same anymore.
I can see the logic there. But did this actually level the playing field? Did it eliminate inequality?
Well, not entirely. Woodford points out that while HAA provided a critical safety net for a lot of people, there was still this emergence of a super wealthy elite, like trillionaires who controlled these massive AI-driven corporations.
So you still have this gap, this divide between those who have a lot and those who rely on the basic necessities provided by HAA.
Yeah, it's a complex picture. But even with that gap, imagine the peace of mind knowing that your basic needs are met no matter what. That's got to count for something, right?
Absolutely. It's like a foundation of security that allows people to, I don't know, maybe explore other things, pursue different passions without worrying about where their next meal is coming from.
Totally. And it's not just about meeting basic needs either. Woodford's vision also highlights how advanced robotics play a huge role in safety and sustainability, especially in areas where it's just too dangerous or difficult for humans to operate.
So like robots to the rescue.
Exactly. Imagine deep-sea exploration, constructing skyscrapers that pierce the clouds, working in mines where the ground could give way at any moment, or handling hazardous chemicals in industrial plants.
Not exactly places you'd want to send a human, right?
Nope. So robots step in. They're designed to handle these tasks tirelessly, accurately, without putting human lives at risk.
And it's not just about preventing accidents, right? They're also used in emergency response.
Absolutely. Picture this. A building collapses. Instead of sending in first responders and risking more lives, they send in robots. These robots can quickly assess the dangers, locate survivors, and even carry out rescues, all without putting humans in harm's way.
That's pretty amazing. And their role extends beyond just immediate safety and rescue, right? They're also vital for things like food production and shelter, especially for those in need.
It's really incredible. Think vast fields of crops managed by robots, producing high-quality food that's free for everyone. And when it comes to shelter, imagine robot construction crews building durable, sustainable homes for those who need them most.
So they're not just slapping together cheap housing, right?
No way. They're using innovative, eco-friendly materials and building methods. Think repurposing former deserts, turning barren wastelands into livable areas, complete with robot-built homes, atmospheric water generators, and solar power.
Wow, that's a whole new level of sustainability. Like, yeah, technology actually helping us create a more livable planet.
It is. And all of this amazing vision of collaboration and innovation. It's really driven by Peter Woodford and the human-robot collaboration movement, HAACM, or H&A as they call it. He's like the conductor of this orchestra of humans and machines.
So it's not just robots running around doing their own thing. There's a structure, a system in place.
Right. HAA lays out a clear process for how this collaboration works. It's about establishing best practices for human-robot interaction, documenting everything they learn, evaluating each project, and then constantly updating their approach based on the results. It's this ongoing cycle of learning and improvement.
So they're not just setting things in motion and hoping for the best. It's very deliberate, very data-driven.
Totally. And it's all geared towards achieving those long-term goals, like job sustainability, reducing pollution, improving everyone's well-being.
And the free food and shelter initiatives, those are prime examples of how HAA puts this structured approach into action, right?
Exactly. They're not just handing out freebies. They're constantly evaluating, tweaking, improving. It's about providing for people while also learning how to do it better, more efficiently, more sustainably.
So let's dig into those projects a little more. The free food initiative, it sounds like it's way more advanced than just, planting seeds and hoping for the best.
Oh yeah, it's high-tech farming. They're using AI for everything. Analyzing data to figure out the optimal planting times, monitoring crop health, predicting weather patterns, all to ensure maximum yield. And a big part of it is making sure that this food reaches those who need it most, those who might have struggled to access fresh, healthy food in the past.
So it's not just about producing more food, it's about distributing it equitably. And what about the Free Shelter Project? What makes those homes so special?
Well, it's a collaboration between human architects and engineers who design these amazing sustainable structures and AI-powered robots that do the actual building. They're using cutting-edge materials, incorporating solar power, water collection systems, all designed to be durable and environmentally friendly.
They're literally transforming the landscape, right? Like turning uninhabitable areas into thriving communities.
They are. And remember that constant cycle of improvement. They're always gathering data, evaluating, tweaking things. It's a dynamic process.
It's amazing. And it's not just about the necessities either. Woodford mentions how entertainment evolves too. Like, imagine open source systems that can create personalized movies and music on demand.
Yeah, that's a fun detail. It shows how this future caters to individual preferences, how technology can enhance our leisure time, not just our work lives.
So you have all this advanced technology, this reshaping of society, these ambitious projects. You got to have some serious rules in place, right? Some guardrails to make sure things don't go off the rails.
Absolutely. The vision stresses the importance of strong governance and ethical frameworks by 2035. It's all about ensuring human dignity, safety, and fairness in a world where AI and robotics are playing such a huge role.
So no rogue AI running around causing havoc.
Not if they can help it. Woodford specifically mentions laws that strictly prohibit AI from harming humans and mandatory emergency shutoff mechanisms for all robotic systems. It's like a safety net within a safety net.
That makes sense.
Yeah.
And it's not just about restrictions, right? It's also about creating an environment where innovation can flourish, but within ethical boundaries.
Exactly. It's about finding that balance between pushing the boundaries of what's possible while ensuring that we don't lose sight of our values, our humanity in the process.
And it sounds like they're very proactive about assessing risks, doing research to anticipate potential problems before they arise.
Oh, yeah, it's all about foresight. They have experts from all different fields working together, trying to figure out what could go wrong and how to prevent it. They're not just waiting for things to break before they try to fix them.
And they're also thinking about the social and economic impacts of automation, right?
Yeah.
Like, what happens to people whose jobs are displaced by robots?
Absolutely. They talk about support programs for those in transition, retraining opportunities to equip people with the skills they need for this new world, and community-based projects to help those who might be struggling.
So it's a multi-pronged approach, not just a Band-Aid solution.
It is. And the goal isn't just to mitigate the negative impacts, but also to encourage the integration of AI in ways that actually enhance human creativity and job satisfaction. It's about finding those areas where humans and AI can complement each other, where the whole is greater than the sum of its parts.
It all goes back to that idea of AI as a tool, an enabler, not a replacement.
Exactly. And the vision highlights how AI is being used to achieve incredible things in healthcare, energy, materials, science. It's like a catalyst for progress across a wide range of fields.
Like in healthcare, Woodford mentions AI-driven breakthroughs in medical diagnostics, personalized treatments, and even a universal cure for all types of cancer by 2033.
That's a bold prediction, but it shows the level of optimism, the belief in the power of AI to solve some of our most pressing challenges.
And in the energy sector, AI is being used to discover new, cleaner sources of energy, to optimize energy grids, to reduce our reliance on fossil fuels.
It's about creating a more sustainable future. A future where we're not just consuming resources, but also finding ways to replenish them, to live in harmony with the planet.
And it's not just about achieving these grand goals. It's also about how they get there. The vision emphasizes the importance of integrating safety and ethical considerations into every stage of AI development.
It's baked into the process from the beginning. It's about prioritizing long-term safety, transparency, accountability. They're not just throwing caution to the wind and hoping for the best.
And in material science, the collaboration between human researchers and AI is leading to the discovery of new materials with incredible properties. It's like unlocking a whole new realm of possibilities.
Totally. And all of this incredible progress, it's guided by a set of core values, right? A vision for what this future global community should look like.
So what are those values? What's the driving force behind this vision?
Woodford highlights three main values: long-term sustainability, global unity, and individual well-being. It's about creating a future that's not just technologically advanced, but also just equitable and focused on the flourishing of every individual.
And those aren't just empty words, right? There are specific goals attached to those values.
Absolutely. Things like ensuring the long-term viability of jobs and organizations, dramatically reducing pollution, and promoting the health and happiness of everyone within this system.
And it's not a static set of goals, right? They're constantly evaluating, adapting, making sure they're still on track.
It's an ongoing process, and a big part of that is ensuring that the benefits of AI and robotics are accessible to everyone, regardless of where they live, their economic status,
Yeah.
That's where initiatives like the free food and shelter programs come in. It's about sharing the wealth, so to speak, making sure everyone benefits from this progress.
It's a global effort, a collective push towards a better future.
It is, and that brings us back to that cycle of innovation we talked about earlier, the collaboration, the data collection, the evaluation, the constant improvement. That's really the engine driving this whole
It's
vision.
like a feedback loop, right? They're constantly learning, adapting, getting better.
Exactly. And they're incorporating feedback from all levels, from the engineers and scientists to the people on the ground, the ones who are actually interacting with these technologies, using the food, and living in the homes.
So it's not just a top-down approach. It's about listening to everyone, taking all perspectives into account.
It is. And one of the more interesting things Woodford brings up is this idea of the evolving relationship between human identity and technology. It's like the lines are starting to blur a bit.
How so? Like, are we talking cyborgs walking around?
Well, he does mention the integration of advanced technological components directly into the human body, but it's not some sci-fi nightmare scenario. It's presented as a carefully regulated process focused on enhancing human capabilities while preserving our core identity.
So not turning us into robots, but maybe, like, giving us some upgrades.
Yeah, think of it as augmenting our natural abilities, pushing the boundaries of what we're capable of.
It's a pretty wild concept.
Yeah.
And this vision, this whole picture of 2035, it's not presented as some overnight transformation, right?
No, it's the culmination of decades of work, of collaboration, of adaptation. It's like a gradual evolution, driven by human ingenuity and a willingness to embrace new possibilities.
It's inspiring in a way. It
Yeah.
shows that we can create a better future, but it takes time, effort, and a willingness to work together.
Absolutely. And it takes visionaries like Peter Woodford, people who can see the potential, who can imagine a different way of doing things. And organizations like the Future of Life Institute, the Foresight Institute, HAA, they're all playing a role in shaping this future.
So taking a step back and looking at this Vision 2035, it's a lot to take in. We've got human AI collaboration, disruptions in the job market, social programs like HAA to ensure basic needs are met, robots building homes and producing food, advancements in healthcare and energy. It's a whole new world.
It is, and it's a world that's built on the foundation of strong governance, ethical frameworks, and a commitment to using technology for good.
It makes you think, right? What aspects of this vision resonate with you? What potential challenges do you see? It's definitely something worth pondering, something to keep in mind as we continue our own journey into a future shaped by AI.
Food for thought, for sure. And if you're intrigued by this vision, I encourage you to dig a little deeper, maybe explore the work of Peter Woodford or learn more about the HAA movement.
Yeah, great idea. And that's it for our deep dive into Vision 2035. Thanks for joining us. We'll see you next time for another exploration of the fascinating, the thought-provoking, the stuff that makes us go, I never thought of it that way.
Until next time.